A big reason why a lot of guys are struggling to take action is because they are overcomplicating the process. They are thinking too much about the ins and outs instead of just taking action. See, a lot of guys have a great plan, they have a great strategy, they have great ideas. But when the moment arises to take action and execute and implement their ideas, they freeze and they tell themselves that they need to do some more preparation, some more planning. Now is not the right moment. And they will push things back to a later date, thinking that then will be a better time. Then they'll be more prepared. And a lot of guys go an entire lifetime telling themselves this and never taking action. Gentlemen, there's an expression that complexity is the enemy of execution. If you are constantly planning and preparing and getting ready to get ready, you're never going to actually take action and execute. You're always going to be the guy who is strategizing, planning, preparing. There's got to come a moment that you forget about all of that and you accept that things aren't going to be perfect when you go for the first time. Things aren't going to be perfect in your first business, your first post, your new career change is not going to be perfect the first time around. But you've got to accept that if you don't do it now and you don't get into the habit of taking action, you probably never will. And you'll probably get into the habit of doing the opposite. You know, if you complicate the process too much, you make it very difficult to even start. I'll use this channel as an example. One of the things that I wanted to do with this channel is make sure that the videos that I produce are as unedited as possible, as unfiltered as possible. I don't like to do too many cuts. I don't like to add any music. I don't want any high dopamine on the channel. One, I think that's bad for this generation of men. I think we've got enough dopamine, and I think it's important to be able to sit down and concentrate for 10 minutes without music, without cuts, without pauses. I think it's good for our brains. But I also understood that if I established a trend of adding music, of adding cuts, of adding rollovers to the videos, that is going to be something that I'm going to have to do every single time, and that is going to take me some considerable time. Whereas if I just film a piece of content, one cut, one go, I upload it to the computer, I post it, it's very simple. Now you got to make sure that your quality is good, but ultimately the point that I'm trying to make out is that the more you complicate the process, the more that you try and add things in, the more that you try and figure out a better plan, a more perfect plan, the more you do anything other than just doing, it becomes harder to do on a consistent basis. And look, at the start, when you're trying to build something, one of the most important things to be able to do is to just go. A lot of guys are trying to make things perfect. A lot of guys are trying to have the perfect plan, the perfect prep, the perfect business before they've even reached day one. It's like trying to learn how to run before you've even taken your first step. No, you need to do a funny walk for a while. You need to crawl for a while. You got to crawl through the mud for a while. It's not going to be perfect. I'll tell you that right now. If you're starting anything new, I don't care what it is, the first day isn't going to be perfect. You're going to be looking back 6 months from your first video, 6 months from your first business, and you're going to look back and think, what was I doing? I mean, wow. But you're going to look back a better man who is better at whatever it is he was doing, because 6 months before he took the decision to just go. I look at some of my first videos and I cringe a little bit. I can't articulate, or I couldn't articulate the way I can articulate myself now. But if I hadn't just filmed them and put the camera down and click go, we wouldn't be here. And thank you guys whilst I'm at it for the recent support on the channel. The new subscribers, it's great to have you guys here, and you're all greatly appreciated. So thanks for all your comments and your support. But I'll just say to you, if you don't go now, you probably never will. And even worse, you're just going to establish a habit of being a serial procrastinator. A serial procrastinator who always has to plan and plan and plan and plan and plan. And you might have ideas that could quite literally change the world. Hey, I mean, I know we all think that our ideas are good but not great, but I mean, seriously, you might have an idea that can change the world. It might be a business plan that nobody has ever thought of before, that quite literally, if you launched it, would shake the markets. You might have that in your back pocket, but it's no good in your back pocket. It's no good sitting there, collecting dust, just waiting. Because somebody else might be really close to having a similar thought. Somebody else might be really close to launching a similar product or a similar service. Slightly different to yours, but similar. And that person also may not have the same problem as you with taking action. I know sometimes we don't want to fall into the trap of being motivated by other people. I do believe you should be strongly motivated by yourself and your future. But there is somebody out there who may steal your idea because you're sitting on it and you're not doing anything with it. You're just allowing it to collect dust, and they want their dream life. They want to put their ideas out there. They understand that on day one it's not going to be perfect. They understand it's probably going to be a bit messy. Most startups are messy in tech, in all sorts of sectors. You know, the usability, the interface of certain tech companies' original models was not the same way on day one as it is now. It was a mess, but they understood if they didn't launch, they would never launch. So they launched. But there's a guy who has a similar idea to you and understands that the importance, or understands the importance of just going, of just launching, of just putting himself out there. And it's possible that his idea is not as good as yours, but he can take action and you can't. And he gets the things that you want. I mean, ultimately, you should be more motivated by yourself and where you want to be. And you should be more motivated by the thought of providing for your future family, or putting your kids in a great position because you have the money, because you worked hard in your earlier years to be able to provide for them. Get your kids a nice education, get them in a safe neighborhood. Those should be the things that inspire you. But sometimes we need to kick up the arse, and we need to be told, look, if you don't do it, if you don't execute on it, somebody else is going to. Somebody else is going to take action where you stumble and bumble and fumble. We're rhyming now, but the point remains. Think about it like this, guys. If you don't, somebody else will. And you're supposed to. Your ideas are great. Your ambitions are great. Start executing on them. Don't overcomplicate the process. Don't fall into the trap that everything has to be perfect and oven ready. It doesn't. Now, don't get me wrong. You don't want to produce a load of rubbish. You don't want to produce something that is not good. A philosophy I have on this channel is, if I film something and I don't deem it to be high level enough, it's not going. Why would I put something out there that is not to a certain level or to a certain standard? You've got to maintain your standards and make sure that you're producing quality. But at the same time, it doesn't have to be perfect. You know, if you're thinking about creating content, for example, you are going to stumble and bumble with your words occasionally. There's no way that you can do an unfiltered video and, you know, never, ever get your words mixed up and have the old th on your pronunciation or something like that. It's going to happen. Embrace it. Because if you don't embrace it and you expect perfection every single time, you're going to really be let down. You're going to be very disappointed. And you're going to find that you're doing 50 takes per video, at least. But if you do embrace it and you don't overcomplicate the process, things are easy. Things are very easy, and it allows you to then build up some consistency. You need to make it as easy as possible to put stuff out there. Every single day, if you have a simple process, you can be firing and firing and firing and firing. And when the process is simple and your consistency is good, those two things coupled together allows for some great results. People like consistency, and people like frequency as well. They look at this guy and they say, wow, he's consistent and he's frequent and he's got some good quality. And those three things together, wow, I mean, that's just the trifecta. That's perfect. But the guys who plan and plan and plan and plan and plan, they may have the perfect strategy, but no one's ever heard of them because all their ideas and all their goals and aspirations are sat on some dusty Word document and they've never been shared. So a practical step. I don't know you and I don't know what it is you are trying to do, but come up with a rough plan. Think about the problem that you want to solve. Figure out exactly the process of how you are going to start, and then just start. If it's content creation, think about what you want to do. Think about a video you would like to talk about. Put the camera down, record it, post it. If it's a new business and you want to provide a service, figure out what service you're going to provide. Figure out how you can provide the service, and then just reach out. It's gonna be crap for a little while. It is. It's not gonna be at the standard that you want it to be, but you've got to accept that. That's part and parcel with trying something new. You learn on the go. But if you wait until perfection, you're gonna be waiting forever. So embrace the early stages. You'll look back on them with fond memories when you start getting the success that you want. These are the best times. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this video today, be sure to smash the like button, comment your thoughts down below, and subscribe to my channel if you're new around here and you took some value. If you want to work with me one-to-one, I do offer my one-to-one coaching services. So all you got to do is click the link down below. There's a Calendly link in the description of this video. Book yourself a slot at a time that works best for you, and I'll see you on the other side. As always, guys, thank you for your time and your attention, and I'll see you in the next one.